I do feel like you're fighting, right? Like you're drawing some blood here, but you're drawing blood with good reason as you sit in this Four of Wands. Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Smith Hansen, and welcome to SeaGoatsecrets. Hi Capricorn, I am Kristen and I am a healer. In this video, you are going to get a full rundown of the Capricorn Pluto transit and how it affects you and your Capricorn placements. I begin with the astrology and I end with a card reading. If at any point in this video you feel connected to my energy and you would like to become a client of mine, you can do so by following this link here and also in the bio. I welcome you. And last but not least, you guys know I am a global citizen, and if you have not already, let me know where you're listening from in the comments and we can all connect and be a strong collective. Now, with all that being said, let's get into this. All right, so hello Capricorn. This is your video to cover everything that you need to know and to prepare for when it comes to this Pluto return for you. And this is a pretty big deal, obviously, because this Pluto return is a lot. What do I mean by Pluto return? So many of you guys have heard me talk about how the past 15 years have been a strain for Capricorn placements because it's been a renewal. I started SeaGoat Secrets because of this energy, to focus on trauma healing for the Capricorn collective because of having a post-Pluto transit. And now Pluto is entering back into your sign only for about 2 months. And when it enters, it's going to retrograde. So it's coming in with a bang, basically. And that bang is, and that bang is basically saying, I'm back. And and I'm coming to collect all that I did not collect, the bone collector, you know. This transit is going to bring up a lot of the past. Now, kind of like what I mentioned, I think I was touching on this in the Leo season video, about it kind of showing itself on a political level where there are old issues being unearthed to be revisited. I don't want to focus too much on the world stage. As I mentioned in the Leo season video, if you are part of the healing, the inner circle, you know that I touch on the world stage a little bit in the monthly email. So if you would like to join that monthly email, you can do so here. I will say that I'm going to be touching on it more to prepare for that Pluto transit, but you're not going to get that email until September, in terms of how it'll affect things on a global scale. But for this, I just want to focus on you guys, and how it impacts just the Capricorn energy. Either way, it's about karma. Okay. And Aquarius and Pluto is about karma, just the same way Capricorn and Pluto is about karma as well. But when we're going into Capricorn energy, we're revisiting the things of the past 15 years, and asking to do a final sweep. And so that final sweep is saying, here are themes based on your past. So depending on where your traumas are or your karma is, you can be seeing this merge with the Saturn retrograde, which is double for you guys, in terms of the past, and making it so that you put to bed karmic themes that have been playing out for you for years. For some of you, depending on your age bracket, that could have been playing out since you got here, you know, since long before the Capricorn Pluto, but they were pressurized during the Pluto transit to be, you know, something that you had to go through over and over again in order to refine you. The great thing about this energy is it's putting to bed these things. It's saying, okay, and one and done, you know, to then bring you into the year of the 9, which is next year, to really be the full completion of the narrative, right? The end of an era, basically. So in order to get you here, you're getting this 2 months of push, less pull, but a big push. You guys are going to get this kind of like what you've been experiencing with the Capricorn full moons, where you were feeling this intense push toward wanting to be more authentic, wanting to be more yourself, wanting to be more in alignment with who it is that you are. This energy comes in and it's bringing you that equal push. You're transforming again. Okay. And you're transforming big time. Now, the beautiful thing here is because of the work that you put in during your post Pluto energy, which has been this past year, for most of you, it won't be this huge transformation that'll be traumatic. It can be the transformation that is more what's turning out on the external. So all of the internal work that you have been doing, being able to reflect itself on the outside. And this is where it merges with the Saturn in retrograde, because the Saturn in retrograde, that video can be linked here, was all about using the sacred scar, right? The sacred wounds in order to create new connections, new bonds, new relationships, right? So what did we also see there? There was something about reconciliation. There were things about the past affecting the way that you are navigating in the future. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are bringing people into your life that were once in it in the past or saying yes, but to be completely frank, many of you will be experiencing old people trying to enter your new life. And I mean that quite literally, because this Pluto transit, I don't want you guys to be afraid of it, because like I said, depending on where you are in terms of karma, it's actually going to be very seamless for you. For the rest of the collective, I can't necessarily say that, but but for your Capricorn placements in particular, it can be a lot of karmic retribution energy. Again, the karma being something that works in your favor out of everyone else in the collective in that sense. And that refining that you're going to be experiencing during that 2 months is, I'm putting to bed my karmic history. So let's say it was a theme of bullying, right? Even well into your 50s or something, you still experience bullying from the same archetype, right? It could be the same archetypal image that you had when you were a child, repeating itself over and over again. But because of the work that you've been able to put in this time around, this energy comes up to show you, but you can defeat it. And it's more in the sense of saying the defeat is not necessarily because you're wielding wild swords. It's simply because you are a much different human being than you were in the past. You're showing up, right? So remember how I say that when Pluto is in a sign, it's all eyes on that person. All eyes revert back to you, right? And this time, those eyes that revert back to you see a very different person than the person that they saw before. They're looking at a renewed Capricorn, right? A person who has changed and has grown in that sense. And so again, a lot of it is your karmic retribution in your favor more than it is against your favor. And so a lot of the growth that's going to happen for you is about how to kind of level, I guess, up into yourself, right? Kind of powering up yourself and charging up your own battery in terms of being able to identify the new you for yourself. So it's not to say it's going to be easy, because obviously if you had confidence issues, or if you whatever your karma is, could be betrayal, it could be, trust, it could be a lot of different things, right? Could be, always kind of matching up with users, whatever your karma is. It's not to say it won't be facing you, but again, it's seeing you in a different light. So you are able to survive it. And most of you, it's going to just simply be past themes and past themes inevitably, but past people in specific trying to enter into your new experiences. And also old narratives. So let's say you're starting something new, or you're starting a new relationship. Let's say you're starting a new partnership. Themes of what you have experienced in the past that could have been a source of wounding, or again, whatever your karma is, those themes can come up for you to have to look in the face and allow to not damage where it is that you are right now. Because remember, the Saturn in Pisces retrograde is saying use those wounds in order to create better connections and put an end to to the people in the old narrative that do not serve you, even if the old narrative is showing up in the body of new individuals. Okay, you can identify the karmic cycle. Do not allow the karmic cycle to go on top of you. Get on top of the karmic cycle yourself. If you get on top of the karmic cycle, then that's how you survive this Pluto transit in a very seamless way. As I said, this is something that works really well for you guys. And it's interesting because with Pluto being in your sign, it was so it could have been so very traumatic for you, but this time around, it's not necessarily bringing about the same trauma because of the work that has been put in. If you are on the right side of karma, whatever that means, right? It's more like saying, okay, here is the reward of the 8th year, right? The year of karma. And it's saying, now that all eyes are back on you, what are they seeing? Now that you're back in the power seat, what are you doing with it? Okay, this is also pertaining to, like I said, love, career, whatever it is that you're putting out into the world. You have what it is that you have been wanting. You have what it is that you've been waiting for. How is it that you'll go about it this time around? You have to go about things in a way where you're more empowered, putting yourself in the space where you will put to end the karmic cycles, especially if it is tied to you allowing yourself to be more of a battery and not somebody who is putting yourself in the space where you are more than just a machine, right? Where you suppress your emotions and kind of hide yourself in that sense. You are the driver. But yeah, it's you being in the driver's seat in this sense. As I said, intuitively, this energy, it doesn't feel negative, but I'm not going to say that it doesn't have its cons, because when we're talking about this much growth, okay, and this much attention and this much all eyes on you, you know, it's very good karma. But if you're not ready for it, it can be getting spotlight when you're not comfortable, and could be viral, could be going viral. It could be, again, a love that feels so different, and it could be in a good way that it makes you uncomfortable. It could be, again, your naysayers watching you win in something that maybe they did not expect. Again, it's a lot of eyes centering you. Subconsciously, your energy ends up in people's minds, because that's the Pluto transit, and they will see you and they will experience you. And like I said, many people will try to re-enter your quarters, right? And so it's important to not put yourself in a position where you are allowing individuals who did not serve you in the past to come and disrupt you now in your future. That's very, very important. Again, power, themes of power and authority. So what does it mean to be an authority in your life? Okay, you are going to be experiencing your past. So I know that I'm making this sound simple, and I know I'm making it sound light, but karmic past is not easy. It's just you are in a better position now. Okay. Hi. Sorry. So because you are in a better position now, you're dealing with it better. So I'm trying to come up with an example. There are so many different examples of your karma. Let's pick power struggles. Let's say your karma is power struggles. And let's say that power struggle is something that finds itself at work. You've started a new position. You are an entrepreneur, something along those lines. And in this new position that you have, you are going to be faced with a power struggle, even though it's a much better position, even though it's a job that's in alignment, you've got what it is that you want karmically, but something about this theme will show itself, not in the same traumatic way that it would in the past, because you are a different individual. You're putting out different energy. The theme will show itself, it will rear its ugly head, and you will handle it, right? Or it can be, or being able to see it like it's small in that sense, something something that doesn't have to be as big as it used to be. You know exactly how to deal with it now and exactly how to respond to it now, to put the karma to bed. Another thing as well is it could be that you're in this happy new position and you're very comfortable with where it is that you are, but it could be old bosses, it could be old colleagues that put you in a position of power struggles that did wound you or hurt you, or put you in a space that wasn't necessarily the most healing, right? Because it's trauma. So these people could be witnessing you winning in terms of your new position and your new life. And that could be the past showing up in itself, and in terms of you having to look in the eyes of those who are watching you experience your vindication. Okay, so that's pretty much the theme, I would say, when it comes to this retrograde, especially along with the Saturn retrograde. A lot of it is about relationships. A lot of it is about close quarter conversations, who it is that you're around, different things like that. Your neighbors, your neighborhood, settling within that energy. As I keep mentioning with the Aries Chiron, Aries Chiron is leaving in the beginning of next year. And this Pluto is a part of what leads us into that shift of energy, because again, you are stabilizing yourself. So while we are experiencing the Aries Chiron and the Saturn retrograde, these themes are: who is it that you have around you? What is it that you are experiencing it? How do you identify yourself in the world? How do your close quarters or your home reflect who it is that you are, your neighbors, your neighborhood, etc.? This is also showing up when it comes to Capricorn Pluto, because you were dealing with this the last couple of years of the Capricorn Pluto. So again, it's being able to get on top of these themes, experience the vindication when it comes to these themes in a very beautiful light, I would say. But it doesn't mean it doesn't come with obstacles. It's just the obstacles are to get you there in order to understand that it's no longer. They no longer have to exist in that sense. You can do them differently. And you also can find yourself learning different practices, could be languages, crafts, whatever it is, in order to make your relationships better, in order to make your communications better. You could find yourself, if you are re-entering your education, feeling more empowered in doing so and ensuring that you're not going to repeat the same mistakes. Again, a lot of other people seeing you in power, other people seeing you win. Basically, that's kind of the theme if you're in that karmic space, I would say. Sorry, I know, but it's hot. So that's what I have for you when it comes to this energy. We are going to get into the reading now. Okay, so Capricorn, here we are with your Pluto retrograde reading. And first things first, we've got a lot of interesting energies here. Things are progressive and yet so conflicting, right? We've got this beautiful Four of Wands. So you're obviously stabilizing yourself in terms of, which is no surprise, because we've got the Aries Chiron, like I've been talking about, coming to its end point, right? The Aries Chiron coming to its final dance, right? So we see you in this space where you are celebrating yourself, celebrating your situations, and also stabilizing yourself in terms of your home environment. But more than anything, this feels like a lot of celebration, self-celebration, whatever it is that you have going on. But then it's accompanied here with this Five of Swords, mainly rooted in this Eight of Swords, which is interesting. Now, the thing is, these are all major arcanas, minor energies. But we see this kind of like the way in which this retrograde is affecting you. It's like you're fighting for what it is that you want, which is, again, this stable, balanced, celebration, happy. This just feels like such a happy energy. But you're also in this space where you're fighting for what it is that you want by any means necessary, right? It doesn't mean that this Five of Swords energy is difficult, but I'm not going to deny the fact that, especially as it sits right next to this Be the Hunter, Not the Hunted, I do feel like you're fighting, right? Like you're drawing some blood here. But you're drawing blood with good reason as you sit in this Four of Wands, which is good for you guys in terms of self-protection. But the issue here is we see double confirmation on this Eight of Swords. So you're definitely insecure. All right, you're definitely in a space where you're standing in your own way in terms of the way you're dealing with yourself, and you're kind of going back and forth with this energy. Happy, celebration, oh my goodness, this is amazing. You know, very classic of your final of this retrograde, right? Because you're going through this transformation, you're stabilizing yourself. Like I keep saying, putting to bed that Aries Chiron energy as it's finishing itself, and the mother wounds, the home, and all of the above. You're really taking the reins when it comes to this energy, and it's requiring you to put in this fight. But you are highly insecure, self-imposed darkness standing in the way. And this is, as we see, like I said, it shows up twice, because this is the dance that you're going to be doing when it comes to this. Really, really happy, really, really celebratory. Oh, but I'm insecure and I'm worried, right? But this is really, really great, but I don't know if I can get what it is that I want. Oh, I'm really kind of going back and forth with this, and then saying, I'm going to fight till bloody murder to get what it is that I want. And if anyone is standing in my way, well, too bad for them, right? Which I don't think is bad at all. I think that's a nice and interesting energy. I'm surprised I didn't see the Seven of Swords here. But I think when it comes to the Seven of Swords, it's not necessarily like you need to be so strategic. It's just saying, like, what's yours is yours, right? When we look at your shadow, like I said, we see the Eight of Swords here, and this is accompanied with the Two of Cups. So going back into this energy of connection, getting what it is that you want, one pouring into the other. And as one pours into the other, it's like this fear of that energy. What is naturally connective, what naturally works. Sorry about that, Capricorn. So we had a bit of a disconnection. Okay, so to begin again, when we look at this energy, again, what it is that will come into you and what wouldn't, what doesn't, right? Where your connections are. There's a lot of insecurities tied to not only just your relationship connections, or I was going to actually say your romantic connections, right? That was what was going to roll off my tongue. But just what it is that you're giving out and what it is that is coming back to you. And that causing a lot of this back and forth, like almost like okay, if this is my new life, or this is who it is that I am, if you're pulling in this new identity, it's almost like, what is it that you're pulling to you? What are you karmically pulling to you? Who's attached to you? Who's still attached to you? What's tied to you? If you want something so new, it's like this energy, which doesn't surprise me, because while we have this Pluto retrograde, Saturn is still in retrograde in Pisces. So it's this energy again of like, who is still here versus who isn't, or what is still attached to you, what's still tied to you, and what isn't. And then obviously sitting in this space of insecurity, lots and lots of self-imposed darkness, lots and lots of you doubting yourself. But it's okay, because again, it sits in the shadow, and it is a minor arcana. And obviously it's what's going on in your mind, but it's also what it is that you're bouncing back and forth between, right? And then when we see here with Coffee Cup and we see the Phoenix, it's because you're going through a transformation. Transformation in terms of who you are, transformation in terms of your entire identity, your mind, your growth, your sense of self. You're expanding greatly and changing your paradigm. And that is something to celebrate. But, it's quite normal that as you go through that much change, you're going to be doubting yourself. That's pretty natural. And you're also, I believe, going to be connecting with a lot of people, a lot of connections, a lot of dynamics. This is a light energy for you. This Four of Wands is very strong in terms of it being this very lighthearted, very happy time for you, as you again step into a space of stabilization. For some of you, you could be really stabilizing a relationship, like a romantic relationship. But again, it's just a reflection of this feeling of home, feeling at home in the body, feeling at home with another, feeling at home within yourself, and that being reflected everywhere else. But you're going to doubt yourself in the process. That's okay. It's a matter of a couple of months, and you fight for what it is that you want. And sometimes you're sitting in a sense of insecurity as you go through this great transformation and allow yourself to be more uplifted and change your social paradigm more than anything. So when we look at advice here, we got what it is that you want wants you. Be the hunter, not the hunted. That's very blunt. You're creating a life, or what it is that you desire for yourself is reflected back to you. What it is that you desire wants you. This is one of my favorite cards of this deck, and I don't feel like it comes out too often, right? What it is that you want wants you. If you hold on to this energy during this entire retrograde, this will be a powerful point for you. What it is that you desire wants you to. Okay? That is enough to put a lot of peace to your mind. Be the hunter, not the hunted. I mentioned this before when it comes to what's going on in this Five of Swords, because you will be fighting. And I don't want you to be afraid of this energy, because it's saying that you're the one that's fighting here. It's a lot of like, yes to this, no to that. Yes to you, no to you. You can stay, you can go. You're at my table and you're leaving my table, you know? I want this, I don't want that. I want this in my home, I don't want that in my home. So it's a lot of decisions, and your confidence is making it so that you're not pulling back on what it is that you want. You're being very stern and firm about it. Mainly because, you know, in the back of your head is this fear, right? This insecurity. It's like, the good thing about insecurity is in a lot of ways, it's driving you in terms of this Five of Swords. Every time you step into a space of, do I deserve this? Can I get this? Can I actually do this? It's like the Five of Swords comes in and says, yes. It's like, fight, you know, like put in this, like wield the swords, you know, create the reality that you desire the most for yourself. And so it's, you know, this is a very straightforward energy in terms of anyone that is changing their paradigm and going through a great transformation. And I don't see any major arcanas here, especially in the shadow. So I don't want you to be worried about this. You're just creating the life that reflects what it is that you want. And what it is that you want once you really helps tame this insecure energy that says that you can't get what it is that you want as you try to celebrate and stabilize your new home reality. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Again, goes back to this Five of Swords that says, if you want it, right? What it is that you want wants you. But this time you cannot let your insecurities drive you. You cannot allow yourself to be taken advantage of or go through the same patterns that you went through in the past. You've learned a lot through your traumatic experiences. And one of the biggest things you learned is to be very secure and very straightforward in terms of what it is that you want for yourself, and not pull back on that energy. Be very clear that during this time period, it's pivotal for you to not make the mistake of passivity or allowing yourself to repeat patterns of having the wrong people in your dynamic. You guys are going through a lot of change and a lot of transformation and a lot of things to celebrate. So know who it is that you're going to invite to your table and who it is that you aren't. You're required to be very strategic, very smart, and very much a fighter in this time period. And this is how you create this paradigm. Okay? Understanding that you're going to get what it is that you want, and the space of self-celebration is very powerful. The stabilization in your home environment is very much there, right? But don't let your insecurities put you in a space where you are not clear in this sense. This heals this energy and actually embraces this one, okay? So we're going to read the healing points. All right, so this is an Ace of Swords energy for me. So an air energy. Your sacred soul passion is powerful enough to shift the state of your inner reality and outer experience. So commit to what truly ignites your heart, and do not be dissuaded by anything or anyone. If you are seeking to make a commitment, do so when it truly connects to your heart. Follow your genuine, meaningful bliss. No matter what appears to be, you shall prevail, you shall rise, right? So this is a big energy in terms of aligning with this energy. It's understanding that you have the power to shift your paradigm to what it is that you want it to be. Okay? Your sacred soul passion is powerful enough to shift the state of your inner reality and your outer experience. So commit to what truly ignites your heart, and do not be dissuaded by anything or anyone. Be dissuaded by anything or anyone, right? We go back into this energy of be the hunter, not the hunted. You will have some people that are testing that's the space that you're going in, and will, again, are the igniters of this Eight of Swords energy, this insecure energy, this doubting yourself, questioning yourself. And again, the shadow, right? When we're looking at this Two of Cups, the Two of Cups is about relationships, people, bonds. The connections and the situations and your dynamics also causing, again, this Eight of Swords. We got two Eight of Swords here. Lots of insecurity, lots of self-doubt, lots of questioning your path and what it is that you're doing. Do not be dissuaded by anything or anyone. Your inner reality has the ability to create what it is that you desire on the outside. Understanding that what it is that you want wants you to. This is a great time of manifestation and change. So it is very normal to have the people that might be in your life, the connections that are in your life, to doubt you, because you are doubting yourself, really, and it's reflecting back to you. But it's really just because you're going through a change. You haven't been in this energy in a very long time, Capricorn. This kind of stabilization in terms of the home, right? And home, like I said, is reflective in a multitude of ways. This is about stabilizing home within the self first. And it's reflective in all these different things that you do to stabilize yourself and therefore self-celebrate. Okay? Be the hunter, not the hunted. Be aware of when people might be trying to stand in your way because they don't want to see you win, right? Or they don't want to see you transition from one space to the other. Do not let anybody get in your head, even if it's in a space of love. You can get exactly what it is that you want, and what it is that you desire to create for yourself as you go through this transformation is inevitable. Okay? It's inevitable. And you're going to be connecting with new people that see your vision anyway. At this point, anybody that's doubting you on the outside is just reflecting the way you're doubting yourself on the inside. Okay, so two air energies, all right? So this is all about clarity of the mind. Going into clarity of the mind to clarify what's going on here with this Eight of Swords, Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is not my problem, actually. I like this Five of Swords here. But what's going on in terms of you standing in your own way, this gets clarified with your healing points. Understand that you have the power to clear out this energy. Your inner reality has the ability to change your outside state. What it is that you desire for yourself, your sacred soul passion, right, has the power to get you out of this energy, to break free from all of these swords, all right? Double confirmation on air. And now we're going to do the bottom. Practice connecting to the joy that is always deep within you. Pay attention to what brings you exquisite delight. Even if you don't know what that is, you are being guided to experiment and explore. Connecting to the joyful capacity of your heart will heal so much negativity, okay, and uncertainty. That's the biggest thing that we see here, negativity and uncertainty. Connecting to the joyful capacity of your heart will heal so much negativity and uncertainty. Let your heart relax. Allow the spiritual grace that wishes to reorder your life to manifest its miraculous magic. So we've got double confirmation on this sense of like, you don't have anything. Let's make sure we're straight, right? You don't have anything to worry about. You're creating what it is you want. This is asking you to get out of your own head, right? Step out of this insecurity. So I want you to come back to this reading often when you're going through this Pluto retrograde, because remember, it's from September 1st into November. So this energy, it's normal because you're talking about a series of months, right? And you're talking about great transformation and change, happiness, self-celebration, being happy where you are, being happy where you live, being happy with who you're with. You're changing your paradigm to a space of a much more lighthearted, happier energy where you're actually getting what it is that you desire. That is a big change for you. And it's a matter of being very clear-minded and fighting for what it is that you want in the paradigm that you want by any means necessary, including fighting yourself. This is a very light energy. It's just saying like, hey, when you doubt yourself, understand, smile. You can have what you want. You can. None of these energies are super heavy, right? This is not a super, super heavy energy. This leads me to believe this is a very light time for you. But yeah, you've got to fight some people off. But more than anything, anybody on the outside, like I said, is just reflective of what's going on your inside. At the bottom of the tarot deck, we've got the Emperor. That is powerful, right? The Emperor is saying, this is the only major arcana we saw here, right? The Emperor is saying you're standing on business. Okay? You are spending this time. This Pluto retrograde brings you into your Emperor energy. The Emperor also represents Capricorn energy. You see that goat? Well, it's a ram, actually, I believe. But the Emperor also does represent Capricorn as well as Aries. This is the energy that you're stepping into. full control of your narrative, full control of your home energy. What brings you excitement? What brings you celebration? Again, some of you can be finding yourselves getting married. Some of you can find yourselves, again, happy where it is that you are, stabilizing in your home. And this can look like money progression, work progression. You are changing your identity and becoming more stable in your life. So as you become more stable in this Four of Wands energy, this home in the body energy, it's no longer that same insecurity that you used to have in the past, where you maybe would try too hard to prove that you deserve something or deserve to be somewhere, right? This is a different kind of energy that you know that where it is that you are is what it is that you deserve. You understand your narrative and what it is that you want for your narrative. This is powerful. You are taking control of your paradigm. You are taking control of your life. You are stepping into this Emperor energy. Yeah, but underneath that, we have the Six of Swords, right? Sailing away, healing. Healing as you step into that sense of the Emperor. That's what this whole thing is about. And the Emperor is not afraid to fight for what it wants. To protect its home and what home means to him. I say him for a reason. Right? It's just a process as you go through change. Another confirmation when it comes to the clarity deck, we've got paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, enjoying each other. It goes back to that same space. This is a very light energy for you guys. It's a very light time for you. Okay, I don't want you to be unnerved or worried about this energy, right? Like this is not anything to be scared of. This feels like a very light, very happy time. When we look at in the shadow deck, we've got the death being the thing that is kind of the shadow, or I guess the overarching theme of what's going on in your shadow. Change. Great change here when we look at the death being what it is that you fear. Great endings. What will come of these endings? What will come of this great change and transformation? And also, again, a lot of this feels like, for many of you, especially because we've got this Two of Cups here, how other people feel about your change. How other people feel about what it is that you're doing. When we look at bringing it into form, again, what it is that you want once you be the hunter, not the hunted. This is all about business. It's taking that same business mindset into all aspects of your life as you learn to become happy in your own skin and have that reflect in every aspect of your life and what it is that you're trying to create, whether it be love, whether it be career, where it is that you live. It's all of it, right? Bring it into form. That's what you're doing. Aligning with what it is that you want, knowing that it wants you, being clear-minded and decisive, smart and calculated. And that's how you bring the reality into its formation, right? You stand on business as the Emperor. And then at the healing point deck at the bottom, we've got Bastet. And this is all about understanding that you've been wound up and you need to relax, right? You need to, that's the biggest thing. Your insecurities will have you in a space where you're, getting anxious and questioning yourself, when it's like, really, you've got this. All this stuff that you're doing, it's in the bag, right? So we've got two air energies, clarity of the mind, and Bastet is an earth energy for me. So the clarity of the mind in terms of stepping into yourself and allowing that positive energy to be the driving force behind what you do. And then ground yourself in the body and understanding you've been moving so fast for so long that you're not realizing how wound up you've become. Gently unwind now, so drop into a deeper, slower healing rhythm. You will restore your body, mind, and soul. Things which seem too difficult right now shall soon seem very manageable and even pleasurable to accomplish. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, because for a lot of you trying to do this, because you're feeling very ambitious about it, because you're feeling very passionate about this energy, it can put you in a space of, again, this energy. Insecurity, fear, doubt, and all of the above. And then it's still having to fight for what it is that you want, right? It can awaken a lot of insecurity and instability in you. But again, when we go here, it's saying like, listen, just breathe a little bit. You can have exactly what it is that you want, and you can do it in a way that's much more lighthearted because you understand that what it is that you want wants you to. And so this is what the overarching energy is, just like, relax, take a deep breath. Allow this process to be something that's actually easier. Allow it to be something that's nice. Even when we look at the Five of Swords, I like this energy versus seeing like an Eight of Pentacles, right? Because an Eight of Pentacles is saying like work hard and put your head down, put your feet on the ground and grind, right? But it doesn't have to be that hard. The Five of Swords is a scrappy energy. It's an air energy. It's a Aquarius, right? Aquarius and Venus in specific. And so what is this saying is like, it's like the desire. Most of the time this energy can mean like, an actual war, a battle, a fight, bloody, right? But in this way, it's more like you're enjoying the spar. It's saying that these battles that are turning bloody, it's more like you're standing in the driver's seat in terms of this. Aquarian energy can be quite chaotic and likes the war just because they can, right? It's learning how to enjoy that energy, especially as we have double confirmation on air. This doesn't have to require so much hard work from you. It can be as simple as yes, no, this stays, that goes, and I'm enjoying it because I have a lot to celebrate here. I'm creating what it is that I want. I'm finally healing, that 2019, since Aries stepped into Chiron, and these wounds got tied to your home. And again, the mother wounds are where you're happy or where you're at home in yourself, where you find this stabilization and this feeling like the ground isn't going to be ripped from underneath you. And again, a lot of this is love for you guys as well, being able to have a stable relationship that feels very at home. This is something to celebrate. You deserve to be here. Defend it. Enjoy get a little scrappy. Don't mind that, right? Be the hunter, not the hunted. This is how you create the reality that you want. Remember, this is how you sit in the space of the emperor as you go through this transformation. So let's get some more clarity. What is it that you need to know? What's it that you need to know? Oh, wow. Feel. Do. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so what is it that you need to know? We've got the Queen of Cups. What is it that you need to feel as the King of Wands? What is it that you need to do as a Death? All right, so that's powerful, right? So what is it that you need to know? Queen of Cups. What is it that you need to feel? King of Wands. So no, Queen of Cups is, there's nurturing here. You're nurtured. You're safe. You're safe. What is it that you need to feel is fully confident and empowered in your energy with the King of Wands. The King of Wands is, I keep saying like stand on business, right? This is not about King of Pentacles energy. King of Pentacles already knows. He's already gotten what it is that he wants, and he has a more relaxed energy. The King of Wands has a little bit more fight. He has a little bit more fire, right? He's more blatant in his masculine energy, and his confidence radiates supreme. It's a strong sense of confidence where you kind of step out with your chest out. Know that you can have exactly, and I mean exactly, what it is that you desire here. Especially when we looked at the fact that your soul passion can be achieved here, and what it is that you want wants you, right? And what it is that you need to do is the Death. Transform. And put a great end. It's interesting because the Death showed up in terms of your shadow. What you fear is the Death. But what it is that you need to do is die. Allow yourself to be fully transformed. You need to go through a strong transformation of self. And through this time, focus on transformation. Focus on change. And understand that through change, you grow. You expand. Be fully confident in your King of Wands energy. This is a powerful, fiery energy, because what it is that you need to know is you're nurtured by the universe here. The Divine Mother has stepped in to nurture you. And that's why what it is that you want wants you. This is a water energy. That's softness, right? You're cradled, you're taken care of. So when you know that you're cradled and you're taken care of, what steps can you take? The Queen of Cups has a beautiful nurturing energy with the King of Wands. We don't see them together often, but when we do, this is the kind of couple where her feminine softness and her maternal nurturing energy gives him all of the peace and all of the confidence and all of the self-assurance that he needs to step out into the world, wear that crown, and bring that fire. This is the kind of energy that the divine is having with you right now. Die. Change. Grow. Let go. Change as much as you possibly can. If it's offered to you, do it. If someone says if the opportunity comes to switch it up, take it. It's like going into the deep, right? Swim into the deep, SeaGoat. Transform, change. Because you're nurtured, you're protected. Be fully confident, because what's yours is yours. You can celebrate. Okay? We're going to get one more card. Gambling. Foresight. Okay, so we've got gambling initially. Gambling is understanding not to take too many risks. To be very clear-minded in your approach. Save to put off for another day. And then foresight, be farsighted. So this is sending a very strong message to you, right? So we see here you can be fully confident in what it is that you desire, because what it is that you want wants you, right? Step into this wands energy, this fire energy, this self-celebration energy. But when we look at these cards here, they're making a very strong, I want to say warning in this sense, right? I have to be very blunt when it says, just because you're in this space, do not allow yourself to gamble. Be the hunter, not the hunted. It's not just about fighting for what it is that you want to create for yourself, but also being very clear, very concise, and very specific about what it is that you will do. Save. There's something about needing to save, especially this is big financially as well. When you're thinking of foresight, when you're thinking of what it is that you're creating at this time period and how you're stabilizing yourself, do not get caught in thinking about the short term. It's a great time, right? But think about long-lasting success, long-lasting contentment, and long-lasting stabilization. Do not put yourself in a position where you allow yourself to gamble or be gambled with, because of insecurity governing your decisions. Think about how you can self-preserve as much as possible and show up in the end with full, with a bag to save you for the next day, right? Think about long-term success in this case. That's what needs to be driving you. The confidence to have long-term success. You're nurtured here. Allow yourself to die and be reborn. Fight for what it is that you desire. Step out of your self-insecurity. There's a lot of happiness and joy here, but going back to the space of being the hunter, not the hunted. As you create this new reality, be strategic and be specific to ensure that you're looking for long-term stabilization so you don't end up in the same space again. All right? All right, SeaGoat. So that's what I've got for you for the Pluto retrograde. I love you. Ciao.